Today we'll be using Inventor to create a dimensioned drawing file. The first thing we need to do is create the drawing file. So once you get Inventor open, go to New and choose a standard IDW and hit Create. That'll get you your IDW file or your drawing file. Now this needs to be modified before we can actually use it. I want to get rid of the title block down here, and then I also want to make the page the right size so we could actually print it. So over here in the browser, you'll see that there's this ANSI large. That's the title block. So I'm going to right click on that and I'm just going to delete it. That removes the title block. Right. And then we're going to right click on sheet 1 and go to edit sheet. And we're going to change it to a size A sheet of paper. So size A is your standard 8.5 by 11. You can see that right there. And so that's something we could actually print in the classroom if we wanted to. So the next thing we're going to do is place our view. So if you're not in the Place View tab, you want to go to Place Views. You're going to choose the base command. And then this menu will open up and click on the folder here to actually choose your part. Now, most likely you have downloaded your parts to your iDrive. So to get to your iDrive, you would hit this drop down arrow. And under this PC, you should have your iDrive. Now, mine actually opened up to the folder that I had saved this in already. So I'm going to choose Dimension Practice 1 and I'm going to open that up. And it gives us a view cube so we can rotate this part around. And as I do that, I notice that it didn't really load in the best front view. This doesn't show the overall contours. It's not the longest edge. And so I'm going to change the front to this view. If I click above it, that'll give me a top view. If I click to the right of it, it will give me the right view. And if I click in the top right corner, that's going to give me an isometric view. And so there's my multi-view drawing. Now the problem is we want to add dimensions to this, and these parts are so big that we don't have a lot of room to add dimensions. So I need to make these smaller. Right now we have a scale of 1 to 1, which means 1 inch on the page is equal to 1 inch of the actual part. So I want to decrease that. If I look here, hit this drop down arrow, I have other choices like 1/2. And so this means that 1 inch on the page is equal to 2 inches in real life, and it makes it smaller. Now this honestly will work, but it makes it really too small. And if I come back here, you'll see there's not really any other default options, but that's okay. I can type in an option. In this case, I'm going to try 3/4. And I look at that and say that looks pretty good. I should have enough space to get my dimensions on. And so in this case, everything looks good. Right here, make sure that hidden lines are turned on. And I will hit OK. And it makes them all line drawings. The isometric I usually like to have shaded. So I can right click on that and edit that particular view and choose this option here to shade it. And hit OK, and then now that should turn that shaded. All right, so now we're going to actually add the dimensions to this. To add the dimensions, we'll go to the Annotate tab and choose the Dimension tool. To add dimensions, we just need to choose which view we want to put it on with that tool, and we'll click the two sides. So the front view shows us most of the contours, so I'm going to just start there. I'll click on the left edge here, and then this next line that I like, and that'll give us my first dimension. This screen is not anything we're going to use today. Later we'll use it, so I'll talk about it then. And then I will just keep going on. I'm going to do datum dimensioning. So I'll start at the same point and then go to the next line. And you'll see in some locations, it kind of becomes this dotted line. That's Inventor's way of saying this is probably a good spot for that dimension. So I'll take their recommendation and I'll hit OK. Again, since I'm doing datum, I go to the same starting point. And now I'm going to go to the far right, which gives me my overall dimension as well. And I hit OK. And I have all the widths that I need. So now I'm going to do the same thing for heights. I'm going to start at the very bottom. And I'm going to go to the next line up. Again, go to that dotted line spot, hit OK, and then I'm going to go up and get my overall and hit OK. This over here, I don't know if I really need to dimension it. It looks like it's about the same as this. This hidden line probably kind of shows that it is, but I'm going to go ahead and dimension it anyway because that just proves that this really is the same size as that. And so next we have the depths, and then I put it over here just so I wouldn't be crossing the whole picture. So finally we have depths. I could do that on this view, the right view, or the top view. The top view shows more contour, so I'm going to use that. I'll start here at the, kind of like I did before, do datum dimensioning. So I'll start at the front and go to the next line, pull that over so it's between views, and then start at the same place and go to the top. It gives me my overall. Again, we might assume that this is the same as that, but I don't know that that's necessarily obvious. The best place to put that dimension will be over here, just so it's not crossing the whole part. And so I will then put that dimension over here. And that should be a fully dimensioned drawing for this particular part. If you have any questions, be sure to ask me in class.